guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Collection season officially opened at midnight last night. As you can see, weather conditions aren't ideal. Wind gusts up to 77 k's an hour. I found this nice little root ball. Someone's been here cutting, so I thought, why not stop here? It's raining, very windy. Have a look at the top. Hopefully we'll be right for wind noise. Where the camera will be is behind that root ball facing the log. So what saws am I running? All the ones I've been working on in the live streams. G395, I bought that. Might give it a run. I bought it for the 32 inch to run on the G466 again. MS380 Magnum. Now it's oiling. A new saw, two new saws, two new to me saws. 576 XP, 192T, 051. And a brand new saw I'll reveal in that video. So I'll get organised. I'm going to run so I'm going to go from biggest CC to the smallest CC. So I'll get organised. Oh, and the Mini Mac. Ported Mini Mac 110. Chain feels sharp, so I'd like to give it another run. There's some pieces here, realistically the size you would cut with that, but I've had it in a 25 inch log and it just absolutely eats. Anyhow, I'll get organised and we'll get into it. I've got to get too wet otherwise if I keep talking. Back soon. Righty guys, how's it going? First saw for the season. It's a new to me saw. Big 084. The camera's a little bit far away, so I've got to yell. Actually, I'll come up closer. I've got to get one of those wireless microphones. I've got raindrops all over my phone. So what's the story on it? Originally the saw belonged to Rodney, the old faller from Gippsland, Victoria. He took it to the STIHL shop. Not quite sure where. I think it was Bairnsdale or something while he was at fallen. The STIHL shop robbed it of parts. Rodney found out. He went and picked it back up and took it home. Then at Saw Feast 2023, was it 2023 last year, Rodney gave the saw to Darcy. The saw was complete, minus the worm gear, the clutch, the drum and the rim and the washer and the E-clip and the bearing. And the AV mount here, that was missing. Darcy's put an aftermarket one on there. The muffler was missing. I'll give you guys a close-up look at the muffler after. So the rear half is still there, and Darcy's made a front plate for it. Also the bucking spike, that was on Darcy's G444 in the last video. It's only held on by one bolt because the top hole's flogged out. This is a dual key flywheel. Darcy's modified the side cover. I've got side covers at home with the bucking spike on it, but I can't find them right now. And it's missing the tuning grommet. Other than that, the saw is in pretty good condition. It's old, as you can see. Now the rain's hit the top plastic, it actually looks pretty good because it's wet. So the pores of the plastic are exposed, I think. So why do I have it? Darcy gave it to me. He doesn't like it. Plus, I've actually bought a saw for him. It's still coming. It's still coming on the boat. So Darcy's getting the new saw, and he's given me this. Always wanted an 084. So back when we cut that load of wood for Paul, we actually ran this saw, and it wasn't very impressive for what it is and what it's supposed to be. So when I got it, I had a look. I pressure tested the carb, passed with flying colours. The inlet barb was split and cracked. Darcy glued it all up. Carb passed with flying colours. I took the cylinder off because I thought there might be some plating off. Cylinder's mint. This saw's been rebuilt. I'd say it was rebuilt at that time. It was at the steel shop, and then they started taking parts off it. There were still crosshatch marks on the cylinder. Piston's been replaced, and it's got brand new caber rings, I believe. So it's not run in. That's what the problem is. It hasn't run in yet, so that's why it runs a little bit funny. It sort of bogs down. It's a big saw. It's supposed to, this is a 25-inch bar. So they pull up to 72, I've seen. So I took the flywheel off to see which position the key was in. It was in A, so it's now in B. It's advanced now, so it's supposed to be the duck's nuts. So I'll cold start it, let it warm up, and obviously I'll have to retune. I'll throw that away. Obviously I'll have to retune, and we'll see. We'll see if it's any better than the first time we used it. Definitely better, but it's got a misfire now. I've changed the plug. I think I went a 1.5, 1.25 on the high jet, so it's now at 1. We'll see how it goes, but that's definitely better than what I was running last time. Bit of fine tuning needed. dual port muffler, so it's a bit iffy. I'm going to be removing, like halving the distance on that front plate. Sort this idle out, that's all. One on the low. I think it was a little bit too much on the low. I'll give it a bit more because of the muffler mod, but it's not that much of a deal. Pretty sure it's oiling like a bastard. I'll have to double check that because I've put my worm gear and drive clutch drum on it, which is 084. It did have 088 worm gear, worm gear and drum. What a beast. Just the idle, guys. That's all. Maybe the clutch bearing needs a bit of lube, but because it's sometimes it turns over the. That's with the decomp in. But that's hectic. Righto, we'll go up to the tailgate and we'll have a bit of a chat. Far out, that's hectic. Massive improvement, just advancing the timing to the B, I think it's B key, B position. G444 air filter dust, that's all right. It works good. You can see through it if you do it. If you put it up to the camera, you can't physically see through it with your, unless you put it up to the light. There's no fine. Oh, yes, there is. They're sucking in some fine somehow. It's not because of the no seal. That actually goes into the seal on the behind there. But if you don't screw it in, sometimes it knocks it out of place. So you've got to try and sort of sit it there and then start tightening that down. It's got a funny miss. So the spark plugs. I swear I put a different one in it. Maybe I didn't. It's an NGK plug. Oh, night and day difference between running it the first time and now. Oil's like a bastard. I'll show you the bar now. Look at that. Running down the sides now. I'm excited, guys. 084. Bucket list all ticked off. Just a couple of little modifications to sort of bring it back to near where it would have been out of the factory. The muffler, I'll give you a look in a minute. It looks a lot of dart. The tree's gonna, the root ball's gonna fall if I keep cutting it halfway through. I need to go find a, see, it just cracked again. I need to go find another log to stick it under there. It's still cracking. Hectic. Excuse the diary. I'll give you a close-up look in a second. Hopefully my intro to that video, you guys can hear me nice and clear. But in case you didn't, I'll repeat myself. So, Darcy made the front cover. It's a little bit bigger than the factory. It's about half the distance again from the factory front plate. The bucking spike he made, G444. Excuse me. Dual port. That's only probably a 1/2 inch hole. It's not a very big one. The actual complete muffler that Darcy has fabricated, it's got like a 20, maybe an inch hole. It's a bit big. I will run it with it on it though one day. That's about all I have to say about the 084. This is my, so why I say my, I actually have an 084 at home. I think I've said the story, but I'll say it again. It was actually gifted to me. So I was promised a running 084. I had to obviously assemble it. Piston looked absolutely mint through the exhaust port. But then I took the carb off to do I put the throttle and choke linkages back on, and someone had put a screwdriver in the intake port to use as a piston stop. So I reckon I could still save the cylinder. I don't know where I've put it from moving. So this is my 084 air filter cover. The one that was on this saw had 3 holes drilled in at each side here. I believe there's a rubber or something missing. Might slid into there. Because once this is on, the actual air filter has air around it all the time. I've seen a few pictures of 084s. They've got a black. So once this is on, there's like a black bit of rubber that comes from here and goes down, and it must go around and up. I don't know. This saw's older than me, guys, so I don't 100% know. I've seen them with black the rare black air filter covers. Surely there's something that goes around where the air spark plug on that sits. See when it's together. It's like there's a black bit of rubber missing from there, and there's a big, you know, like the 660s. I don't know, do they have anything there? If they do, please let me know in the comments or send me a message on Facebook if we're friends on Facebook, or if you haven't joined my group yet, you probably haven't answered the questions, and the moderators haven't accepted you in. All things power saws on Facebook. It's got home light zips and Wiz 66, I think they are, in the cover photo. That's my Facebook group. And I think this oil cap's leaking. No, that's coming out of the... that's all right. It's actually a 660 fuel cap. Is it a 660 fuel cap? Maybe not. It might be a 660 oil cap. If so, I've got to get some more. Anyhow, I've got to save the chain. 051 might be next. May as well. I'll take the borrowed chain off this 084, put it back in the back of the ute. Then I might reveal the brand new saw and start to run it in on the big part of that log. Run the first tank through it if I've got enough timber there to run it in, and then it goes down to smaller pieces. I do have another root ball there. I've got all 24-inch Husky saws today, well, bars and chains on the saws. 25 for the STIHL. There's still the 20 on the G466. And I've got to do the 32-inch, but there's nothing here big enough to do that test, unfortunately. But I could gauge it from the 25. It's got more power now, I know that much, but it's not ported, it's still stock. For everyone that hasn't followed along, excuse me, I just went out of the box. The carb wouldn't, I could screw the hydrojet all the way in and it was still rich. It still pulled chain, no worries, as you guys seen the other 3 videos, or however many videos it is down. I think there's 4 or 5 on it. It'd bark, but it'd still pull chain. Now it actually, there's like 1,500 more revs, so to speak. 2,000. Could even be 2,500. I don't know, but it's a lot. It's going to need to be tuned in the timber. The other new saw to me, I've got to actually fire it up. I did sharpen the chain yesterday, but it's a double raker chain and my Carlton filer plate. Can't use it because the double rakers are now in the way, so I'm going to cut the other rakers off. It should still cut. I might do that now real quick just to make sure it still cuts. And well, I may as well do that saw next because it's new to me. How about that? And then we'll get into my the normal program, so to speak. I've got that little jigger. Anyhow, I'll quit babbling. I'll stick this on the ground for a second, the 084, and I'll get the other new to me saw. There is a video of it on the channel down further, but I believe, well, it's running my bar and chain off the ported Husky 50. I'll come back to you. I'll just start her up and make sure she's going to do a raker test, make sure she's going to pull chain, and then I'll run it for a little bit, do a couple of cuts. Back in a jiffy. Thanks for watching.